said Hartley, and I'm an alcoholic.
We're on meeting.
Have a, Ed, if you mind, pull that door to behind you. Maybe that's even more. Okay, folks, before I get started, I've got to tell you one thing. My wife was killed me. Last year, in all these past almost 20 years, we have Christmas tree distribution in the city of Cayce and the surrounding areas. And this year, we'll have about 400 trees to give out. We have a number of members here who will be helping, at least you signed up to help, starting, I'll be there at 12 o'clock Thanksgiving Day. Some of you will be eating your Thanksgiving meal. But at 2 o'clock, we officially start giving out trees. Remember, the trees are $20. The $3 profit we make goes to the museum in Cayce. And we start at 8:30 on 8:30 Friday, and we go all day Friday and half a day on Saturday. So remember, that's the Masonic Lodge on 12th Street with tree distribution, and it's a lot of fun. Some of the folks will, for the elderly people, go out and dig the hole and we'll actually put the tree in for them. So, and most people decorate with white lights all through the area. And these are the same trees that Lowe's was selling last year for $50 for 20 bucks. So it's a good thing. Because I know what's going to happen. This is
The same ones? Are they dead by
virtually,
now?
virtually the same. They're better. We can get them before Lowe's gets them. And I can't guarantee that this year, but the price is the same. The other thing is, we have a number of different efforts that this group supports. Now, Bill West can't be with us today, so I've asked Eddie to help make some photos because he still wants to do the article. Our main focus today will be on gold and silver and the American Principles Project. They're here from Washington, D.C. with us. It's an honor to have them here. Ed Hartley talked to me about something very important. I said, Ed, 5 minutes. And then Talbert said something last night, I'm thinking 7 minutes. Talbert has a radio show later today. He may expound on some of this. So I've got that out of the way, and Kenny Bingham will be here about 7:15. So dignitaries around the room, let me do this before I forget. We've got our first vice chair of Lexington County Republican Party, Summer Saul.
Capital food.
I'm sorry, Solar, I should remember that. Talbert Black, Campaign for Liberty, and in my opinion, Talbert, the most influential member of the Patriot community in the state of South Carolina. We've got Major Mary Louise Rish with Harvest Hope. She wears a number of different hats, worked at White House security at one time. 9 years active service, 9.5 years active duty.
9 years.
9 years. And Harvest Hope, we'll talk about that. And last week we talked about the homeless and food and shelter. The Honorable David James, former county councilman, Lexington County. We've got former Army recruiter, and now candidate for, what house seat, Eddie?
39.
House seat 39. And who's the fellow that's not going to run again?
Marion Fry.
Marion Fry. Okay. The historian Belton Gettings, Emmett McGordy, who's an attorney, I won't say Esquire, and Emmett was on the radio show a few months back, and the main star today will be Rich Danker, pretty well-known author, writer about a number of different principle-based issues of the American Principles Project. And to his right is the writer for the Wall Street Journal. He got something published yesterday. Talking about gold and bologna, by the way. And we have Joe Mack, who is a lobbyist / consultant, depending on how much money you pay him, here in South Carolina. And I didn't know he knew my wife, working at the Baptist Association until a few minutes ago, and Weldon Flaw, and some of the other folks. Dr. Buddy Witherspoon, who has gotten me in a lot of trouble, and somebody I always call for advice. I always get the wrong advice, but I get advice. No, Buddy's great. And so I've got all these things out of the way, but remind me when Kenny comes in, I've got to recognize him. But, all right, Ed, I'm starting late. Go ahead with your topic.
That's okay, I can do it in 3.
Okay.
Y'all know that. It came to my attention, Kevin Dietrich at the Nerve wrote an article on a lawsuit which is pending in front of the South Carolina Supreme Court. It's being presented by an attorney named Lewis and also Dick Harpootlian. And the purpose of this is to do away with our tax exemptions. And it concerns me a little bit the original lawsuit is dated March 14th, and as far as I can figure out, this is coming out before the Supreme Court on November 29th. Item 1, this has not gone through a lower court first. Item 2, this sounds like a fast-track deal to me, since it was just presented on, or instituted on March 14th, and up for review on November 29th. The basis of the lawsuit is saying that our tax exemptions in the state of South Carolina are not constitutional. This was addressed, I believe, in 2003 already, and the findings at that time, and there was only 67 exemptions at that time, they were found to be constitutional. So we continued the way that we are. The way I look at it, certainly there are some exemptions that I disagree with, and the entire system should be looked at. But if this goes through, especially with Gene Toll as being in charge of this, is a cause of concern for me. But if it's proved to be unconstitutional, the way I look at it is the DOR could immediately begin taking taxes on things like prescription drugs, food, fuel, ATM machines are in there as well. Yes, sir.
Just clarify so that at least I can understand. When you fill out a 1040 federal form,
Right.
right, and and you're entitled to certain exemptions, those same exemptions automatically go to the state on your state taxes.
Right.
How are they going to? So I don't see how they can do that.
I don't either, and that may be the basis for the ruling of being constitutional in 2003. But my main purpose is, one, to make you all aware of this, and number two, I mean, I'm representing myself. I'm not representing the Tea Party, even though I lobby or I chair the lobbying committee. But this is concerning. I mean,
Yeah, I think Talbot had some comments. We talked about this last night. He has some insights.
Well, yeah, Ed and I had an email conversation about it, and so you got Harpootlian, who is the chair of the Democratic Party of South Carolina, who has filed a lawsuit, or in his behalf, I suppose. And then you've got, and his claim is, like I said, that it's unconstitutional under equal protection. That you can't have sales tax on some items and not on other items, or you can't have some people paying a tax that other people aren't required to pay. And he's right, that you shouldn't have unequal taxation, right? I mean, you shouldn't be taxing one class of people and not another class of people. But then you've got McConnell and Harrell, who are writing articles all around the state and filed an amicus brief, I think, that they say, well, it's not the purview of the court, that it should be taken care of in the legislature. Well, they're right too. We don't want the court legislating on how things should be done like that. But in their amicus brief, where they say that it belongs to the legislature to take care of this problem, well, they're indicting themselves because they've been in charge of the legislature for I don't know how many years, right?
right.
So the solution in my mind is you lay it right at their doorstep. They need to take care of this. They need to get rid of the sales tax exemptions, what they're talking about, get rid of the sales tax exemptions, and then lower the sales tax. So right now, the numbers are we collect $2.1 billion in sales tax. The state does. But the state exempts $2.8 billion in sales tax. So the state exempts more than what they collect. So if you do the math on that and you get rid of all the exemptions, you can lower the sales tax by more than half and still collect the same revenue. And so you stop subsidizing all the people who aren't paying the sales tax, because that's what it really is the folks who are paying the sales tax on the items are subsidizing the folks that aren't, like the permanent medical equipment and other items like that. You know, you've got a guy who goes out and buys a $100,000 Cessna, he pays the same $300 sales tax that you buy when you go out and buy a $1,000 beater. Well, it'd be more than that, because $300 max is the maximum sales tax.
Right.
So the indictment is that the House and the Senate should take care of this and get it out of the court's purview. I agree, the court shouldn't be deciding this, but the legislature needs to act on it, I think.
Well, that was very good, and as Talbot always has a lot of facts and good information, and I agree with him 95% of the time. Other 5% we argue about things and still go on. But Ed, do you have any final comments on that?
My only comment was, there's a lot of organizations represented here. I don't think we should sit back and look at this and see what happens. I think there should be some type of public voice against it, at least procedurally. I mean, the way I look at it, the Supreme Court advises and makes rulings. They don't make laws. But I throw it out to y'all. I mean, I'd like some other input on where we should go, what we should do.
2 minutes for comments, because we have so many things on the agenda. Eddie, anyone else have a comment about this?
And I'm gonna pass this around so you can read it.
So these taxes, this is an income tax exemption?
Sales tax.
Sales
tax.
Right.
Yeah, it's strictly on sales tax.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood, that's why I asked the question before. I thought you were saying income tax.
No, sales tax.
Right.
Ed, thank you so much.
Yeah, y'all
If we
think about it.
If we have time at the end, we can pick back up on some of this if you want to, but
Super.
definitely there's interest here for that.
Good.
Thanks again. Let's give Ed a round of applause.